Tiny greens, knee-high grass, and fairways that punish a single mistake. They call Shinnecock Hills the cruelest test in golf, and this week, the best players on earth arrive there. One man is trying to complete history on his birthday. Others are trying to tear it away from him. I broke down every contender. And the one player I think survives this course, I'll tell you at the very end. This Thursday, on Long Island in New York, the 126th US Open begins at Shinnecock Hills. It's the 6th time the course has hosted the event, and the most recent was back in 2018. What makes Shinnecock special goes beyond the word hard. It's a par 70, just over 7,400 yards, but its real weapon isn't length. It's the precision it demands. The greens are small, firm, and fast, and a fairway miss leaves you in punishing fescue. Put simply, if there's any flaw in a player's game, this course magnifies it. So conquering this place isn't about who hits it farthest. It's about who makes the fewest mistakes and survives to the end. Hold on to that one yardstick, it's exactly what separates the contenders we're about to break down. And one more thing stands out about this field, there's no Tiger Woods and no Phil Mickelson. For the first time in a long time, golf's biggest major arrives without its two most famous names. Woods no longer holds an automatic exemption since his last US Open eligibility lapsed. The biggest story this week is, without question, world number 1 Scottie Scheffler. He already holds 2 Masters, a PGA Championship, and an Open. Add the US Open here, and he becomes just the 7th player ever to win all 4 majors, the career Grand Slam. And here's the kicker, the final round, on Sunday, falls on his 30th birthday. You couldn't script it better. The bookmakers agree, installing him as the runaway favorite at around plus 550. But there's a crack in the perfect picture. Scheffler racked up 6 or more wins in each of 2024 and 2025, yet this year, he has just 1 title. And he's never played Shinnecock before. He'll be facing this brutal course with no prior experience of it. So the question is this, can the pull of history and a birthday outweigh a dip in form and an unfamiliar course? And who, exactly, is trying to stop him? First, 2 major champions chase him down. Rory McIlroy, at around plus 1,000. He completed the career Grand Slam at last year's Masters, then defended his green jacket this year, becoming just the 4th man ever to do it. His form is beyond question, but there's an irony, the US Open is his weakest major. It's where he's missed the most cuts, and his last US Open missed cut came right here, at Shinnecock in 2018. Crucially, he ranks around 125th in driving accuracy. On the course that demands accuracy most, that could be fatal. Jon Rahm, at around plus 1,200. The 2021 US Open champion is a proven major performer. His strong mind and reliable ball striking are exactly the weapons a course like Shinnecock rewards. Quiet, but impossible to dismiss. But the players who fit this course like a tailored suit, they're a different group entirely. Apply the yardstick from earlier, the player who makes the fewest mistakes and survives, and the list reshuffles. Brooks Koepka, at around plus 2,200 to 2,500. He won at this very course in 2018. A back-to-back US Open champion with 5 majors, he's a big stage animal. But there's a variable, a recent left-hand numbness issue, and questionable form since his move to LIV. The course fit is elite, the body is the question. Tommy Fleetwood, at around plus 2,000. He finished runner-up to Koepka here in 2018. He's strong at US Opens and knows this course well. The one catch, he still doesn't have a PGA Tour win. Clearing that final hurdle on the biggest stage has always been the challenge. Matt Fitzpatrick, at around plus 2,200 to 2,700. The 2022 US Open champion, and the Tour's leader with 3 wins this season. He has both the form and the major pedigree. Cameron Young, at around plus 1,800, with 2 wins this year, including the Players' Championship. He's effectively the 4th choice behind Scheffler, McIlroy, and Rahm. Xander Schauffele, at around plus 2,000, brings stability. For straight top 12 finishes in the majors, and never worse than a tie for 14th at a US Open. And Ludvig Åberg, at around plus 2,000, rounds out that same group, a dark horse on the strength of elite ball striking. On the other side, a name with plenty of buzz but a questionable fit, Bryson DeChambeau, at around plus 2,000. He's a 2-time US Open champion, both his majors came at this event. But there are question marks over his recent form and how his style suits Shinnecock. Some analysts even float backing him to miss the cut. That's the field fighting for the title, but there's one man here who isn't a contender and who you have to mention anyway. Last Sunday, 36-year-old Bud Cauley won the Canadian Open, his first PGA Tour title, in his 239th start. That number matters because of 2018. That year, a car accident left Cauley with multiple broken ribs and injuries to a lung and a leg, and nearly ended his career. After years off the course through surgeries and rehab, he finally became a winner on Sunday in Canada. And the gift that win handed him is a place in this week's field at Shinnecock. A man who, 8 years ago, wondered whether he'd ever play golf again, now tees it up at a major. He's not the only story like that here. There's also 18-year-old Mason Howell, the U.S. amateur champion, playing his second U.S. Open before he's taken his first college class. Two very different roads, and both of them earned a place at Shinnecock. He's not on the list of favorites, but the fact that he's standing there at all is its own story. Now, time for the prediction I promised. Run it all back through the course's yardstick, the player who makes the fewest mistakes and survives. McIlroy has the form, but his driving accuracy walks into this course's trap. Koepka has the fit, but his hand is a worry. Fleetwood knows the place, but that final step wall still stands. So here's my prediction: Scottie Scheffler completes the career Grand Slam. The reasoning is simple. Shinnecock doesn't reward one weapon, it demands a game with no weaknesses, and that's exactly Scheffler's profile. Even with just one win this year, he's been steady enough to finish top 3 in half his starts, and his nerve on the biggest stages is proven. Add the pull of the Grand Slam and a birthday, and you have about as strong a motivation as the sport offers. And there's a deeper logic to it on this specific course. The players most likely to come undone at Shinnecock are the ones who rely on a single elite skill, raw distance, or a hot putter. Because the course will eventually expose whatever they can't do. Scheffler's edge is that there's no obvious hole to expose. On a layout built to find and punish weakness, the man with the fewest of them is the logical pick. But if I had to name the one man who could stop him, I'd look at Jon Rahm. A major champion whose blend of experience and the stability Shinnecock demands makes him the quietest threat in the field. On Thursday, golf's cruelest course puts the best players in the world to the test. On one side stands a world number 1 trying to complete history on his birthday. On the other, a man who came through 8 years in the wilderness just to stand on that stage at all. Whoever lifts the trophy, Shinnecock will remind us of the same thing. Golf isn't a game won by the one who hits it farthest, but by the one who falls apart the least. After 239 attempts, that's exactly what Bud Cauley proved, too. Who's your pick, Scheffler's history, or an upset? Tell me below. And if this breakdown helped, take a second to subscribe and hit like, it genuinely helps the channel.